Having to deal with fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue syndrome is one of the worst possible things you could possibly deal with. And be like, what is chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia? Chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia are I don't know if it's a disease, but it's basically when you're super exhausted all the time. Whenever you work out, whenever you don't get a proper night's rest, you're like, your whole body is fatigued. Whenever you work out, you make it completely worse. And I've had this issue for more than 5 years now, and it sucks, but it's just that's just what I have to deal with. And you'd be like, well, did you get diagnosed? I didn't, but I sure have all of the symptoms, and I feel exhausted all the time. Also, my diet sucks. You'd be like, oh, why don't you just switch up your diet? Food's expensive, man. Food is expensive. But one thing you could do to improve your symptoms, get a blue light. You'd be like, blue light what? Blue light blocker? Like sunglasses, but like amber lights or something. And wear those after 3 p.m. And that should block out blue light so you can fall asleep better. You'd be like, what does that have to do with me being fatigued? Well, if you can't sleep, then you can't get a good night's rest. And if you can't get a good night's rest, then you're not going to be rejuvenated. Also, when you have a good night's rest and like you're actually sleeping deeply, that kind of restores a lot of damaged cells. It's the cells that you've been working out. And your circadian rhythm is really important. And your circadian rhythm is basically like, it's like a clock. It's like your own body clock or whatever. So it's telling you to sleep when there's no more blue light being emitted. So make sure you pick some blue light blocker glasses up. I'd recommend you buy ones that are like 99% block blue light. You could get the very cheap ones that I did on Amazon. They're like $12. I'm not going to leave a link in the description below, but you can find them on YouTube somewhere. But yeah, another thing too is make sure when you first wake up, if you can, if possible, get outside and just kind of like let the sun into your eyes, because there's a lot of blue light and that wakes you up. So that can be very beneficial for you. And if you can't do that when you first wake up, try and do that. If you're like busy at your job or something, try and get like 10-15 minutes out in the sun on your lunch break or something. Tip number 3 is don't eat before bed. Leave at least like 3 hours, 2 hours, and don't eat anything, don't drink anything before bed, because you're going to have to wake up in the middle of the night. So that could ruin your sleep. Make sure you have a good mattress. Make sure you're not on your phone. Make sure you're winding down. Make sure you're meditating. Sleep is really important. Make sure you're eating healthy too, because fibromyalgia can also be triggered by inflammation. So I would just recommend you chill out on your Zaxby's or McDonald's, or in my case, Taco Bell. But make sure you're taking a lot of vitamins, and chill out on the sugar too, because it drains a lot of vitamins. Make sure your gut microbiome is healthy, because your mitochondria is really important, and your circadian rhythm helps your mitochondria. Mitochondria is basically like, it produces energy. So if that is damaged or not working properly, you're not going to have a lot of energy. So I'd recommend you look into that. But I would also look into like more about fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue syndrome. Anyways, if you guys found this video insightful or helpful, or you just like the video, don't be afraid to leave a like and subscribe. And comment down below if you're always feeling tired and sluggish and you have tenderness in certain spots on your body. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.